folks. I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and nothing gets me through the day like a piece of CJ Nova 992 and SNAGZ. Smash the like button with a 2x4 and subscribe.
Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992, and today we are back for another brand new video. Open SNAGZ right away. Introduction, SNAGZ.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, SNAGZ, from the We Welcome the Chase podcast. Enjoy the show. Let's build relationships together. I love you, you love us, and we're just going to take this to the next level. Enjoy it.
I know. What's this? Is this our fourth week? It's starting to get serious, SNAGZ.
I think it is, mate. We're actually in what we would call the business start of the season. And obviously you're starting to share more with regards to your toilet frequency, which is nice. That's kind of like, I feel comfortable with that because it means that you care and you want me to know exactly what you're doing rather than saying it'll be a couple of minutes and me thinking, well, it's been 10 minutes, where the fuck are you?
Yeah, I just felt like a voice clip at that current period was the only way I could move forward. I didn't want you to think I was just like sitting there doing that. No,
of course. I was like, you were taking care of some very important business.
Very important, right? Very, very sore business. Where do you want to begin today, SNAGZ? We're obviously loads, like, football season's back, mate. It's the golden period. It's here,
mate, and some clubs have played twice since we last spoke, so there's a fair old bit to talk about. So should we start with Aberdeen?
Aberdeen, indeed.
Aberdeen's last two results, they had Hamilton at home for their opening match in the Spfl on the 6th of August, where they won 2-0. And then they had a game against Hamilton again in the fucking cup, where they beat them 1-0 away in the second round on Wednesday night. Interesting thing to note is on the opening weekend of the SPFL, there was a lot of accounts do stats like the Back Pass Rule, the SPFL Radar. One of my mates who runs the Rangers Report account, if you don't follow it, please do. It's at the Jazz Report. He's going to be doing stats across the whole season. Aberdeen featured very, very heavily in the top 10 most effective players in the SPFL this week, and obviously there was Celtic as well, and I think it was like number 9 was Josh Windass. So Aberdeen are going to be a force to be reckoned with, I think, this season. And obviously if they can build on the momentum that they've currently got and keep hold of key players like McLean and stuff like that, I think they'll do really well.
Absolutely, yeah. Another little thing that we probably haven't mentioned since the last time is obviously got knocked out of Europe, because when we were actually filming the last one, the kind of game was going on. So that was like the only down point of their season, but I still think they've done really well to actually go. They beat them in the home game. The away game, they're obviously going to get caught, and they were unlucky with actually losing the game, to be honest with you. But again, two very strong performances, one in the league, and what was the other one? Was in the cup, wasn't it?
It was the second round of the cup.
Yeah, second round of the cup.
But obviously their fans didn't behave very well, so there was a subsequent UEFA charge.
Strong start of the season. I was kind of expecting them to start, but 2-0, I think that was a very good result. Obviously keeping a clean sheet as well. They just look like a strong outfit. I kind of said it a few times, but they just, position by position, look like a physical team. And I think they're going to impose that quite a lot. Like, they're not kind of like, they're good passers and everything that maybe they've had in the past. They're a physical team. They've got some really like fucking guys like to throw elbows. They'll be a tough team to beat.
Right, let's talk about Celtic. As predicted, last time we spoke, we talked about Sean Maloney, obviously, and he was saying that he was going to stop playing football and go into coaching. We were like, he's going to join Celtic. And it was announced 2 hours ago that he's joined the Celtic coaching team. So good luck to him. And obviously, like we said last time, it's kind of jumping on the trend of ex-players joining the coaching staff, which makes absolute sense, particularly if they are at a good level where they're getting their coaching badges, and obviously they can bleed what they've learned back into sort of up and coming youth players and stuff like that. You know what it is to play for clubs like Celtic and Rangers and any other teams for that matter. But so good luck to him. And obviously the other news, some disappointing news. There was a guy that was slashed in the ground before the match a day ago, which obviously wasn't nice. There was a lot of pictures going about on that on Twitter, and it wasn't. It's horrible. But obviously stuff like that doesn't belong in football, really. And then there's a lot of talk about Kieran Tierney after his wonder strike versus Kilmarnock. It was an absolute peach, actually. I watched it back just before this, because I don't tend to watch Celtic games because, well, and he literally comes in, cuts into the middle of the park, and to be fair, he's got a shit ton of space. So Kilmarnock gave him too much too much room, and he just smashes it, and it kind of swerves into the top right-hand corner. It's an absolute peach of a strike. The keeper's got no chance. And obviously they're saying that, given where he is now, he's going to be a quality player. And I think he's played something like 70 games for Celtic, and he's only 20. So that's some achievement already. And obviously he was wearing the captain's armband. So fair play to the lad. He's got a bright future.
Yeah, that's where I was going to kind of start off with today, is just the Tierney, because I'm getting a lot of questions about it. Obviously, he was playing in the centre. I don't know if you had noticed. He was actually playing the centre back quite a lot, and a lot of their people were jumping on saying, "Oh, this is fantastic, not only for Celtic but for Scotland, because we've never really had a good centre back and we could nurture him and everything like that." That's crazy. Yeah. That many appearances at that age, captain in Celtic. Obviously, he could play left back, centre back. He's played right back for Scotland as well, I believe, in one of the Scotland qualifiers when Patterson was out injured. Seems he could play anywhere along the middle. I think he'd be one of the ends. I'm not sure if he's going to go down the Andy Robertson route and move obviously down south into the Premier League. I think Celtic do very well to keep him, but again, he's like an absolute die-hard Celtic fan, so he's probably got a couple of years there left over, because that's some of the questions I've been reading. I'm not going to read individual. They're saying, how long can Celtic keep Tierney? I think it's how long Tierney wants to be there, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. Agreed, because obviously, the world is going to be his oyster if he continues to play the way he is. See what happens. And, Celtic's last 2 games have scored 9 goals. They've only conceded 1, which was against Hearts, but they beat Kilmarnock 5-0 in the League Cup second round midweek. So, there's a lot of goals starting to come through now that Lee Griffiths is fit as well. But obviously, they can score all across the park. But it's interesting times.
I see, it is indeed. I seen a stat as well for Griffiths, and I just want to pose you a question. It was he had scored 80 goals and 106 starts, which I think is an absolute tremendous. And obviously, the follow-up question is going to be: do you think he could go on to, like, if he stays at Celtic, to eclipse like the Chris Boyd record? Because I know Chris Boyd's still about 100, and it's about 130 in front of him or something like that.
I think he could challenge it for sure. It all depends on his attitude and application.
You've seen it for Scotland as well. He's got everything, but he's just one of these players as well. He's got a disappointing mindset. I'm sure, like, just say he played for Rangers and he was like to wind up Celtic fans. If we were one all the time, maybe it wouldn't be as sort of black and white as that. We'd probably love him because everybody loves him. Like, Chelsea fans love Costa, everyone else hates Costa. But Griffiths, just to me, I just think he lets off the field stuff. He sings songs he shouldn't sing. He lets himself do that side, because I think he's fantastic. His left foot's a fucking wand. He could be anything he wants to be. He's a lot like Tierney. He's got a bit of everything. Hopefully, he doesn't beat Chris Boyd's record. I'm going to just on the record say that. But I think if there's anyone, it'd probably be him. There's actually one other little thing I want to just speak about. It's actually about Brendan Rodgers. It's the John Daly Brendan Rodgers war. What do you think about this? This is mental. Like, this is fucking crazy. Like, he's been in a job like 3 days and he's already starting wars. John Daly.
No, I know, but the thing with John Daly's comments is he's clearly perturbed by Brendan Rodgers' kind of assessment of his team, his backroom staff, how his club is operating at a kind of transfer business level and stuff like that. And it's really stuff that is just speculation on his part, but obviously he's presenting it like it's fact. And I think that's what John Daly thought. Do you know what? Fuck you, mate. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about this. And I'm no fucking on radio saying the same shit about Celtic, so maybe keep your own shit to yourself. Do you know what I mean? That's pretty much what he said. And I think that's fair.
He stuck up for his own team. I completely understand. He was saying a lot of things, like if he was down south, he wouldn't be saying that to the Manchester United, but he thinks he's a big fish in a small pond. Most people's always got nice stuff to say. Even like Warburton had a lot to say, like great things about Rodgers and everything like that. But do you think there's a worry because he seems to be untouchable, like on the feet? Do you think maybe his ego's getting a bit too big, or is it just that one-off comment that's maybe just seeming?
I think there's definitely a bit of that, but also I think he's going to become the voice of Scottish football, if you like, because that's kind of how the media putting him up on a pedestal, and I think that's that is inevitably going to go to his head. But he just needs to be careful. I think just be respectful of other teams and keep your opinions to yourself, unless they're funny, and then I want to hear about them. So.
Fair play.
So Dundee's last 2 results, they got defeated by Ross County at home, which is interesting, on the opening game of the season for them. And they obviously had Dundee United in the second round of the Cup after being beaten by them in the group stages on penalties, but they actually beat them 2-1. And Dundee United chairman got assaulted post-match, which obviously is mental. So that was kind of the big news there. But they face Celtic actually in the next round.
Yeah, I've seen that advertised as well, like the quarterfinal clash. Did you see his goal? Like, what, I can't pronounce his name. It's a big long name. I can't pronounce it. Sorry, Dundee fans. It was an absolute fucking wonder strike. Like, honestly, like he thought Tierney's was good. Like, he touches it on the half volley and just buries it in the top and bin.
Is that El Bakatoué?
Aye, that's a strike and a half. The other little thing is they were actually playing Dundee United as well. I think you actually mentioned that, and I just liked that Billy King scored. because there was a lot of memes going about like Billy King, Orange. Probably not going to make it in the video. I just thought it was cool.
Oh, I mind that because I saw the lineup and I was quite surprised at that. But obviously, we did mention last time or the time before about Scott McDonald joining and stuff and how they were kind of building a decent team that would make them effective at championship level. And I think that shows. They are kind of challenging Premiership sides, but they're not quite there. But obviously, they've got a team that's good enough to hopefully see them through.
Because I rate Billy King. He's just a very inconsistent. He's not like what we spoke about in the past with young players. Like he's got talent. He just needs to find consistency. I think that's a steal for Dundee United. They're starting to look at more players. I've seen them linked when I'm like, decent. It could be something for them down there in the Championship. But hoping Falkirk still does it.
Mona Falkirk.
Falkirk Burns.
Celtic beat Hearts 4-1 as we alluded to earlier on the opening game of the season, which obviously shortly after that, or was it before that, Cathro got sacked. Aye, and obviously they're in a kind of position now where John Daly's in charge and they're looking for a new manager, and there's a lot of kind of media and PR push around that, how it's a pull for big names, but you're seeing folk like Steve McLaren and fucking Dougie Friedman, who I thought was like a famous like medical doctor on telly or something, who have been linked with a fucking job. So aye, that's kind of the big news out of there. And obviously, as we were talking about earlier, there was the spat between John Daly and Brendan Rodgers. Long may that continue. It's a bit kind of like WWE, isn't it, for Scottish football? So keep that up.
Aye, that's the only thing that's really keeping us relevant is just the manager fights and everything like that. Then Steve McLaren, like people are so excited about that. People need to understand what he's actually done. If you watch the True Geordies like videos or anything, he fucking ruined Newcastle and put them to like terrible buys. He's ruined Derby twice. He ruined Nottingham Forest.
Not a good manager.
Like the only team he's ever been successful was like 12 years ago before he got the England job. Remember, he's the only England manager, not Culver. And everyone's so excited. He's like, oh, Steve McLaren could be coming to Scotland. I'm like, fucking, you should get behind like Stephen Presler or something like that, because he's actually done decent work as a manager. Like he done a lot of work for Falkirk and then he moved down to, was it Coventry or something like that?
Yeah, that's right.
Like that's the kind of manager I'd probably be backing, not Steve McLaren. I just don't understand why the fans are so excited about that.
The Hibs then.
Be careful because we're playing them in a few days. It's going to go viral.
I'm quite excited about that, and I'm hoping that we absolutely batter them. So they
bias.
They've scored a lot of goals as well. Kind of, I dare say similar to Celtic. They've scored 8 goals and conceded just the one. They beat Partick Thistle 3-1 on the opening game of the season, and then beat Ayr 5-0 in the second round of the Scottish League Cup, which you would sort of expect them to do. And it was Anthony Stokes' debut, but he came on and scored 2. Obviously he's starting out the way he kind of left off when he left there. Where was it? When was it? Blackburn or something?
Blackburn, yeah, and then Blackburn actually got relegated. I don't think he was playing many games, but he certainly never scored then, and he obviously came back as a free because I think it was in his relegation clause in Blackburn. That was one of the things I was wanting to address in the comments. Like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, were a wee bit bitter towards him because of the cup final?" And I'm like, I think we're just being genuinely honest though. Like he did have, like I remember seeing him at Falkirk. I used to think this guy could do whatever he wants to do, and he's definitely not lived up to the heights. He's obviously scoring goals and everything like that, and it's great for him. But I don't think we were too bitter because I think we're the type of people that holds grudges. So yeah, obviously great for him. I believe it was them and Murray as well, the 2 people that scored the goals. Hibs fans are absolutely loving them. And also, I just wanted to say, I don't know if you noticed, Big Stevie Whittaker scored his debut for them against Partick. Big Whittaker.
Did I mind him?
I remember him.
Never forget that Lisbon game.
That's exactly what I said. Was that when he just like ran like the base of the whole length of the park for yourself?
And he did the old look the other way and hit the ball the other way, man. It's fucking brilliant. Scored. So the other big news is that Cheltenham have signed Hibs striker Brian Graham. I haven't got a fucking clue. Sounds like a postie. That's no disrespect to posties, by the way. I'm just saying it's not. Like, it doesn't sound like a footballer name. Do you know what I mean? Like Brian Graham. Like
no, ken who Brian Graham is? See the guy that you play see when you play fives with your mates, and then one of them drops out, and you need that guy. It's always available. You're like, right, go and phone Brian Graham. Fuck's sake, we're one shot.
He comes along and he goes to hit the ball and he falls on his ass and stuff like that.
He's your name to watch. Always pick last. Play him centre.
He's keen.
Ready. He brings his own ball. He's got
a great engine on him.
He's got a good smile. He's kind eyes.
So Motherwell then, the Motherwell. So on their opening game of the season, they played us obviously, and we battered them 2-1. And a strange game where we came out all guns blazing, controlled the game, and then we just kind of went to sleep a bit, and then we kind of let Motherwell come into the game, and then Pedro made some changes to kind of try and nullify what's the guy's name? Cadens, I think it was, who had a fantastic game. And when I was saying earlier about the stats, there was a couple of Motherwell players that were up in the top 10 as well.
Just to say, the Motherwell wingers fucking destroyed Hodgson and Wallace like 90% of that game. Watson had a couple of touches towards the end to sort of redeemed himself, but Hodgson was absolutely embarrassed that entire game. That was horrendous watching him.
So they were obviously beaten by Hibs on the opening game. We talked about that. And then on Tuesday, they beat St Johnstone 3-0 in the League Cup second round, which I think is a fantastic result, given how St Johnstone are playing at the moment.
Yeah, I'm raging about that.
Aye, and who scored for them? Let's have a look.
Erskine again got one.
Yeah, Chris Erskine and Edwards and Lawless got a 50-minute penalty as well, so that was kind of the opening goal. So they kind of pulled them apart in the second half. So,
and to be fair, against Hibs, they actually started off really well and went behind. And you've got to kind of give Hibs credit to, like, their first game back, after all the talk about them being the second best, they did manage to come back and win. But partly, first off, they maybe just hang on. Maybe they got a wee bit shell-shocked away from them. Shell-shocked. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Delete 25 minutes, just the Rangers now. This is it. Lie.
We're not biased or anything, you know. Yeah.
No.
So Rangers then, the big news coming out of Rangers, there's always big news coming out of Rangers because we're a massive club, as Pedro says rightly in his interview with Chris Cummins.
Starting already.
We beat Dunfermline 6-0 last night in what can only be described as an utter demolishing game. And I fucking honestly, I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Yeah, interesting choice of free kick takers, which paid off. Bruno Alves, man, what a fucking free kick that was from, like, you know, a difficult angle, and he bends it in the top corner, and the keeper's like as shocked as we were that it fucking went in. But I don't know if you're the same, but when you see like Bruno Alves standing over the ball and like other players and other teams around him, it's like in the old like FIFA 97 or whatever it was, where you could fucking activate the like big head mode and like. It's just this fucking
just looks like a different human being, eh? Did you see the ends in the wall? See when he was lining up, not one of them wanted to get hit with that fucking ball. You saw them all like, oh no. Let Candeas take it. take it.
Special shout to him, man. That was a quality free kick as well. So it's good. And if you watched Pedro Caixinha's post-match interview, he was asked about, you know, is he happy that he's got better options for free kick taking now? And I was expecting him to say James Tavernier, but he kind of went through like the players that, you know, obviously Daniel Candeas, Bruno Alves, and then like he mentioned a few others, and then he said Tav. So it's quite clear that he's gone like quite low down in the pecking order now, which is a shame, because I think it's just a bit of confidence he needs to get back. To kind of, you know, get back to how we saw him in the Championship. I don't think that was a fluke. He's definitely got ability there. So.
Yeah, that was one of the things in the Motherwell game as well. From like he came on and then we got a free kick and he never took the first one, but then he went to take the second one and he ballooned it about fucking 50 yards out of the bar. And then we ended up getting one towards the end of the game, and he never even went towards it. Eh? And that's just a wee bit of a shame now that he's just. When was his last free kick? It was against Kilmarnock last season.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, wow. Especially the way he was rattling them in like non-stop in the Championship. Eh? When you're in form, man, things just fly off your boot. I thought Candeas was special as well. Like that was a brilliant wing display. Shout out to Kenny Miller as well. 158-year-old, still leading the line. Very well.
Rangers' top three players was number one was Graham Dorrans. Obviously got the goal with a secondary shot and assist and one establishing pass. Windass was number two with 6 shots, free unassisted shots, and the 5th highest expected goal total in the league. Wow. And then the third was Kenny Miller. It was between him and Candeas, but Miller was more involved in build-up play and slightly higher expected goal chain, tied with Candeas with 3 key passes and obviously the assist on the Dorrans goal. So it's good, and obviously we saw again Josh Windass playing really well, but versus Dunfermline, so he's definitely kicking on and building a bit of momentum there. But I just wanted to ask your opinion on Alfredo Morelos. Obviously, he got 2 goals, and I don't know if you've seen the goals, but I think he's a fucking quality finisher. By the way, a lot of composure. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it was one of the moments. See, when he got that first goal, I think they were already, what was it, 2 or 3-0 up at that point by the time he scored. But the whole crowd absolutely went mental because it was his first goal. We all know what it means. I thought he took it so well as well. First time, cut it in. And I know Tom Miller actually mentioned it throughout the entire game. See, when he was having his shots towards the end of the game, they had no problems with it. They're like, that's what we need. We need a greedy striker that wants shots, that didn't want to. It's fine with just giving the ball away. Like, I love Kenny Miller, but sometimes he just tries to overplay it because he will just pass the ball rather than shoot. Morales, so it's like, he wants the ball, he's going to run at the goal, and he's going to shoot every single time. And I fucking love that, to be honest with you. I was so happy for him to get his goals, and he was the right place at the right time for the second. I think just the more he'll play, the more goals he's actually going to get.
Agreed. And there's been a lot of chat on Twitter today. Some people liking him to a young Ali McCoist, so that can only be a good thing, really. If he get that fucking sort of return. But a special mention to Jordan Rossiter. I love Jordan Rossiter, particularly for his post-match interviews. But obviously, he got his first competitive 90 minutes under his belt. And what I've noticed is, and if you watch his interviews back, is he says, "Like I said," but actually he's not said it yet. So he's like, hey, mate, yeah, so like I said, like, it was great to get back in the team and all that, and do my first, 90 minutes and that, but like I said, it was great. Just like, no, you didn't say that, you didn't. I love playing for Rangers, it's a massive club, like
I said. What is your my accent? This is fantastic, ready? All I can say in the Liverpool accent is, Stevie Gerrard. What was that? Is that out of 10? Where would you give that out of 10?
There's a little slice of Chinese in there, mate, so I'm going to give it a 7. Pedro Caixinha basically said that he's looking for perfection out of Rangers, and when he gets perfection delivered, he wants better. So I think that's good for him. He's bringing a really high standard, and I think that's why we were talking about Carlos Pena and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He's not played him yet because he's not there, and actually there's a story about him being given extra workload in training to get him there. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks for him, and it'll be good to see him when he finally does feature.
Absolutely, that's one of the things I was looking forward to. Obviously, I made a couple of jokes about Pena kind of gone missing and where is he and everything like that. But just like we spoke about, I think people need to give you a bit more credit. You called the Sean Maloney thing, you called the hashtag ship the titles thing 5 weeks in advance. It's like you've called the Pena thing. It's like everyone just needs to stop questioning what the things you say, because 5 weeks later they're like, oh wait, SNAGZ was right. It's just like,
what can I say, mate?
It's kind of an ongoing hang, but I'm just going to address it because literally we need to. If we didn't date, it's all only going to be in the comments. SNAGZ, that add the titles. You can't always come in. Yep, I know, mate, I know. So I feel like I could say something, but I don't think people really would understand what the way I want to say it. I've put up on Twitter a few times. I just want them to understand. So I'm going to pass it to you, and you're just going to explain it the way you explained it to me, and just went, oh, okay. So SNAGZ, take away, add the titles, yes or no?
Certainly. So the answer is no. The reason for that, and it's not like they're not added because somebody said it wasn't allowed or there was a war going on or something like that. But I mean, the war has got something to do with it. But basically, the reason that they're not counted in the official number, so it's 54 as opposed to 62 or whatever, is because the Scottish League was suspended during the war, and they formed what's called the Southern Premier League. And basically, Rangers and other teams obviously featured in that. Rangers dominated it, won the cup twice. It was technically a 9 in a row, and that is recorded on the club's website as a listed honour. However, it's not a Scottish League title, so it cannot go into the final total. So, regardless of how many people, 20,000 people have signed this petition, it won't change, unfortunately. And I think the argument was that Hibernian list a World War One and the Aberdeen list a World War One. They don't. They list them on the website, which they're allowed to do, which is, we've got ours listed on the website because it's a club honour, and why wouldn't you list it? But it can't be officially recognised as a Scottish League title, and that's why it will not happen.
Perfect. Thank you. See, that's it. I tried to explain that. I think I fucked it up and got people more confused than not. So SNAGZ, thank you. Oh, no. I'm adorable, isn't I? I just do weird hand gestures. They fucking love it. Sponsor break. And we are back. Thanks, SNAGZ. If anybody for Slug Killer wants to sponsor the podcast, just hit me up at cgeover92gmail.com.
It's a nice maraca. It's Doff as well. Doff, it's £4.25 on Amazon. It's cheap as chips. Like if you go to Sainsbury's, it's about £6. So
aye, if you use the code SPFL recap, you get 10% off. Honestly,
keep those slugs at bay.
Let's get to the little Ross County.
There's another two to go. So Ross County, but you know, they obviously won their opening game, so they're sitting 5th position, obviously based on goal difference. But I think they'll struggle to stay top 6, to be honest with you. But see what happens. Good luck.
Am I being completely naive? But is that where Billy Mackay is now?
It is. You're correct. Yeah.
Aye, and there's something about his injury, eh? Like, is there something wrong with him now? Because I kind of like he's not playing much, or he's got an injury or a knock or something like that. I've seen someone say, because I said to him in a video, I think he's going to score a lot of goals, and someone put in the comments of the last SPFL recap that he's injured.
Basically, he's got a recurring groin problem,
Like,
which you can't seem to shift. And basically, what the experts are saying is that they're hoping that they can cure it by him getting surgery. So I'm going to say that that's the reason why he's out. He's going to get this groin surgery. So it's going to take him a few months to get back in.
That's a blow,
and that's just training, really. So because those are serious.
Yeah, absolutely. Because remember he fucking scored an overhead kick against us last year.
He did, aye.
Oh.
Don't want to talk too much about that. St Johnstone, then. Let's move on to your namesake, motherfucker.
Ah, St Johnstone, lads.
Johnstone beat Kilmarnock on their opening game of the season 2-1, as we said about earlier, and they beat St Johnstone. No, they didn't. St Johnstone got beat in the second round of the Scottish League Cup. It's confusing, all these different teams and whatnot. Yeah. And obviously, Michael O'Halloran scored on his debut as a loanee for the club and scored a really good goal. And obviously, it means, well, I'm going to say it's a stick on that he's not allowed to play against us, so that's good.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael O'Halloran. I hope he does well. I think they'll be all right, that team. I still backed them to do well, even after the surprise. I actually thought they were going to beat Partick, especially with the way Partick kind of collapsed against Hibs. I was expecting to go there and score goals, and I was like, 3-0, he fucking kidding me on. Come on, Johnson, eh? Pick it
Crazy,
up.
Mate.
That's as Johnson's, we're not consistent. Like one good video, next one's really shit. It's kind of up and down. It's kind of like the team.
It is, mate. And the only other news is that the striker Chris Kane and defender Jason Kerr have joined Queen of the South on loan until January. Don't know too much about them. If they're any good, I don't know. Obviously not.
Seems all right.
If they're strengthening the lower league sides, but best of luck to them. And that, my friend, is the end of the news.
There's one other thing before we get to the actual Twitter questions. I just want to fire at you, Snags. It's actually about the championship. Like a lot of people's been sort of coming in and saying, who do we reckon's going to actually win the championship? I've been asked that quite a lot now. I personally would love to see Falkirk, but I just think Dundee United as a squad is just too strong personally. But yeah, I've seen that in a couple of the comments. I just wanted to fire it to you in a video to see if you could answer it. Who do you fancy winning the old championship?
It's tough because you've got a lot of teams that have played in the Premiership before, like St Mirren, Dundee United, Dunfermline, Inverness, Cali Thistle, obviously, and Falkirk. So it's going to be tough. But I mean, if the opening games are anything to go by, you're looking at a battle between Dundee United and St Mirren, with potentially St Mirren edging it, depending on how well they do with the obviously the rest of the season. I mean, that's just kind of like an observation from what I've seen from the table so far. It's not really. I've not seen any of them play, so I couldn't really tell you. But that would be my kind of, without any knowledge prediction. So
just a blind stab in the dark.
Yeah, top two of St Mirren, Dundee United, probably in that order. But it might be the other way around. It depends how well Scott McDonald does for Dundee United. So,
nay flutter on Queen of the South.
I don't know. Queen of the South are one of those teams that consistently kind of sit in the top four, but don't make it through the playoffs.
So start well or go on purple patches and then they just fucking collapse.
No, they do. I mean, the only reason that they're sitting top is because obviously Brecon have jumped into the league and they're a pretty shite team anyway, and they battered them 4-1. So I think that's kind of not a great indicator of how we're going to do over the season. That's going to come, I think, once we're like 6 or 7 games in. So maybe
Sorry, boys. Sorry.
We can pick it up. And a few weeks' time and see how they're doing.
Aye, that's right. We're not probably going to go into depth because obviously we didn't want the videos to be 5 or 100 hours long, but we'll certainly come back because I know a lot of you guys said speak about the championship because obviously some of you are for Falkirk area and everything like that. They want to see it, so we'll jump back and forth. We'll read you up. We'll keep you updated for that. But yeah, I'd love to see Falkirk win, but I believe Dundee United, and you're saying either St Mirren or Dundee United.
Yeah,
good play. Right, so this is a new thing. I don't think we've actually done it before, but we're actually going to read out a question each. We've fired up in Twitter, and I'm actually going to pick one question from me. Snags is going to pick one question as well, and we're actually going to just answer it. So, Snags, do you want to go first or second?
More than happy to go first or second.
Oh, I love it. He's just so flexible. Right, on you go. You can go first, mate. I'll let you. You're the guest.
Okay, So my question comes in from a chap called Johnny1872. He's at Curry Johnny 54 on Twitter. Nice Twitter handle, mate. Makes me think of like Trick Madras, but also Rangers at the same time, and I think that's a good combo. So his question is: do the two of you think? So it's for the pair. It's for the pair of us.
Oh.
So we can.
Thanks, Johnny.
We can both have an opinion on this, and maybe I'll have an opinion on your question just to keep it consistent. Let's see. So he says, do the two of you think that if Warburton had been given the £10 million give or take that Pedro got, would he have done better? This is very easy. No, because we don't know how much money Warburton was actually given, but from what I understand, he was given the full backing of any kind of signing that he went for, and he was given the available funds. So no, I think maybe if he had a chance to do it all again, he'd probably do it differently. Obviously, he's not going to have that because hindsight's a wonderful thing. But I think the Warburton style of play just isn't a good fit for the SPFL, and the team that he was building was not physical enough to deal with it. And I think that's showing at Nottingham Forest where he is now. He's almost doing the same thing with Barry Mackay and Jason Cummins in the squad, who are not very physical lads. He's building that.
Whoa, careful. I will fucking walk. I will stop this car right now. Okay.
But you know what I'm saying, though. It'll be interesting to see how Nottingham Forest fare over the season. But be safe to say I won't be keeping an eye on them unless it pops up on my Twitter timeline, which generally it does if something happens with Barry Mackay. So
just had to drop his name again. I'm kind of backing you as well, mate. I genuinely know. I just think his play style is boring as shit.
Yeah.
The players need to brought in, like he likes all this Barcelona. He obviously loves that, like passing for the back. He likes these small and Iniesta style midfield players. It's not going to work in your league.
No.
The physical, bitter, 39-year-old football players that just likes to hurt people. Okay, that's it. That's what league is.
It's a good summary.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say. No, because I can only imagine on what they've signed. Either signed young boy like small stature, good passers, probably can do wee magical things 1 every 8 games. No comment SNAGZ, didn't he say anything? And that's what and that's just thing, yeah. Would have built a team that would never been challenging Celtic, nowhere near physical, and I think Pedro's brought in physical players that needs to do so. And yeah, so look at Aberdeen, Celtic, both physical teams. We would have been fucking embarrassed like we were last season.
Exactly, and Warburton couldn't deal with teams that parked the bus. He just didn't have a fucking plan B, and it was embarrassing to watch at times. So, whereas your man, Coutinho, has clearly got that plan B, and Bruno. Thanks to, in fact, let me just find this guy's name. It made me chuckle. I just saw a tweet a minute ago that was just coming from John Clark at John Clark GBX, and he says, "Looking forward to it, lads. The show should be all about Bango Boy tonight, Lord of the Wing."
Title.
My precious.
I've spoken about Bango Boy quite a lot. I've got this thing where I'm not cutting my hair until he scores a goal. Nah. That's the kind of thing. I thought he'd probably scored by now, to be honest with you. It's starting to get out of control. I'm going to have to get a bango. That's the sort of joke. If it gets too long, I'm going to start winning a bango. I think that's fair. So get fair for it. I think he's playing fantastic. Again, I think it was a month and a half ago, I made a video. I don't know if he was I said he was the third player I'd give a second chance at Rangers. And if you still go back and look at the comments, I'm getting fucking slaughtered saying Stanley, like these previous teams, Accrington Stanley, I can't pronounce it, should go back to there. He's no Rangers class. No, the same people that commented that are like, Bango Boy should have been man of the match. Craig, why did you not pick Bango Boy? Bango Boy's playing amazing.
Aye.
And I just love that even people that doesn't follow me and that tweet Bango Boy at him. I just love that. I'm like, that's spread. I love it.
The thing is as well, right? You've only got you could provide a classic example of what Josh Windass is good at versus Motherwell, where Wes Foderingham throws the ball out and he takes it to his feet, and he's got a Motherwell player coming towards him, and he literally like jogs a bit and then fucking bang! His explosive pace is incredible. He literally like accelerates past him, and then he's got 2 guys coming towards him, plays the ball in between them, runs around the outside of him, picks up the ball possession, and obviously his decision making at that point was poor because he should have played it to Herrera, who was free. He would have put it in the back of the net. It was an easy tap in, but he didn't. He went for glory, hit the post, which was unlucky. But I mean, we're only going to see more of that because he's in a position that he loves to play in. So I mean, we might not see a massive goal return from him, but his thing is about playing in the position that he enjoys the most, and I think Pedro's going to get the best out of him if he does that. So,
Bango Boy, love it. Please score soon. He's getting fucking long as shit. So my question is from a channel legend. Scott Young at WATP_Pedro. And this isn't me being lazy. It is the very first question that was sent in. Okay, but just relax. So Snags, he wrote, we can both answer it. Is Celtic's dominance hurting them in Europe? And I thought that was a fantastic question. I think 100% yes. I think the league's way too easy for them because see when you're winning every game and you can, it's easy. Like, son, you just didn't train as hard as you normally would if it was a tough game. Like, you only pushed as a team. You didn't kind of react when teams actually come at you. Celtics used to every single team they've played, I don't care who they've played, they back off them and give them space, try and come back and sort of counter them. They didn't care what today when these European teams are like, fuck it, we'll come at you. We'll see. Like Rosenborg had no respect for Celtic at all. They're not even a good team, to be honest with you. It's like, we're going to fucking go at you. And like the meme almost scored a goal, which probably should have. And I think he should have in that first game. So I just think they're just lacking preparation. They've just not got that mental like toughness to play in Europe. I think that's why they're struggling a wee bit. Like, but it's not to say that yes, they've played terrible because they got that fantastic draw against Man City in that last season. But I just think they want to get through the qualifying stage. They need challenges in the SPFL. They need Aberdeen. They need Rangers. They need Hibs, Hearts, everything. The competitive league, and that will only going to benefit not only them but the entire Scottish football. Yeah. One horse race in a shit league is hurting them. I think personally. So yeah, the league's too easy for them. I think it's definitely hurting them in European football. But you've got to kind of put pressure on the Rangers now, Aberdeen, Hibs, and Hearts, and say, right, you fucking challenge it and get better. Because every other club's knocked out Europe already, bar Celtic. That's fucking embarrassing. It's like two rounds. We're out. Everything.
I just want to say the top 3 players in the SPFL this week, based on the stats, are Christopher Rutis from Ross County. Had 4 shots, 1 goal, played the right role via passing or shooting in 8 of their 14 shots. Wow. So he's definitely one to watch. Chris Cadden from Motherwell, talked about him earlier. Highest expected assist totals in the league last week and had second highest expected goal chain, which basically is measuring the build-up play for an unexpected goal. And then Ryan Christie from Aberdeen, 3 shots, 2 that were unassisted, along with a high expected goal chain. So players to watch, mate, for this weekend coming to see if they can maintain that level of consistency and see if they rank the same.
But yeah, that's basically it. Anything else you want to shout out? Maybe tell them where your channel is and where they can find you.
Aye, so if you didn't know already, which you should do if you've been watching this, you ball bags, is my channel, the We Welcome Chase podcast. Get over there, check us out, search for us on YouTube, and obviously subscribe. Please subscribe, please. Yeah. So yeah, I've been CJ Novo 992. That has been Snags. Make sure to check his description. Hit that. Hit the like button. Drop a comment. Subscribe. We're almost at the 9K target. I believe we went 8,500 today, which is absolutely tremendous. Thank you so much. 500 subs in like 5 days, which is fucking crazy. 6 days, 7 days, whatever. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. I've been CJ Novo 992. That has been Snags. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.